Have you ever wondered why some people can walk into a room and radiate calm confidence, while others are silently battling jealousy inside? Why do some people seem unaffected by comparison, envy, or resentment, while others feel consumed by it? The answer often isn't money, status, or looks. It's something deeper: emotional wealth. Before we dive in, make sure you subscribe for more life-changing lessons on mastering yourself, because what we're about to unpack can transform the way you live, love, and see the world. 1. Defining emotional wealth. Emotional wealth is the ability to live with an inner richness that no one can take away. It is not stored in a bank account, nor is it written on a resume or displayed in the car you drive or the clothes you wear. Emotional wealth is invisible to the eye, but deeply felt in the heart. It is the quiet confidence of knowing that even if tomorrow everything external were stripped away, you would still carry within you something untouchable, a peace, a groundedness, a sense of worth that is not for sale. Just as financial wealth gives freedom in the physical world, the freedom to choose, to move, to expand, emotional wealth gives freedom in the inner world. It grants you the resilience to face storms without drowning in fear, the clarity to resist being swayed by the shallow opinions of others, and the depth to find joy in ordinary things. Imagine a person who has millions but is restless, anxious, and perpetually dissatisfied. Now imagine another who has far less materially but walks with lightness, radiates calm, and sleeps peacefully. Who is truly wealthy? The second, because emotional wealth is the kind of treasure that cannot be stolen, taxed, or eroded by time. It is freedom in its purest form, the freedom of the soul. To cultivate emotional wealth, you must learn to ask different questions about life. Many people measure themselves by comparisons. What do I have compared to others? Do I own more? Do I look better? Am I higher in status? These questions trap the mind in endless competition and rob the heart of peace. The richer question, the one that plants seeds of inner wealth, is: what values and inner strength do I carry within myself? What virtues do I live by? How do I respond when life tests me? Emotional wealth grows when you invest in self-awareness, because knowing yourself shields you from the lies of jealousy. It deepens when you practice gratitude, because a grateful heart sees abundance where an envious heart sees lack. And it expands when you maintain perspective, remembering that life is not a race, but a unique journey for each soul. When you are rich in these qualities, jealousy finds no soil to grow in. Like a plant without water, it withers away, replaced by a steady sense of fulfillment. True wealth, then, is not the applause of others or the trophies of success. It is the quiet assurance that you already have enough within you to walk through life with dignity, strength, and joy.
2. Practicing forgiveness and release. Jealousy thrives in the soil of old wounds, grudges, and comparisons that we have refused to let go of. Every time we replay a hurt in our mind, every time we measure ourselves against another's blessings, we water the roots of jealousy and keep it alive. But forgiveness, true forgiveness, is like cutting the chain that binds us to resentment. Forgiveness does not mean excusing harmful behavior or pretending that betrayal never occurred. It is not weakness, nor is it blind tolerance. Forgiveness means refusing to let someone else's actions continue to poison your inner world. It is an act of self-liberation. Picture yourself dragging a heavy weight behind you: anger, bitterness, envy, all while trying to move forward in life. Forgiveness is setting that weight down. Suddenly, the path feels lighter, your steps freer, your vision clearer. The person who wronged you may never apologize, they may never change, but when you forgive, you stop allowing them to control your heart. Jealousy loses its grip because its fuel, resentment, has been burned away. In forgiving, you reclaim your energy for growth instead of wasting it on endless replay of the past. Release is another form of wealth, one that many overlook. To release is to let go, not only of grudges, but also of comparisons, disappointments, and imagined narratives of how life should have been. Release is the decision to unclench the fist and trust the flow of life. Every time you choose release instead of replay, you build strength. Every time you stop rehearsing bitterness and instead focus on the present moment, you grow wealthier within. This is why release can be seen as a superpower. Most people live chained to the stories of yesterday, but the truly rich in spirit live free in today. Jealousy whispers constantly, "Life is unfair. Look at what they have. Look at what you lack." But forgiveness responds, "Life is too short to remain stuck in the same pain." Release answers, "I will not trade my peace for their shadow." In this way, every act of letting go is an act of building inner fortune. Just as a person can accumulate savings over time, you accumulate emotional wealth every time you release a grudge, every time you forgive yourself, every time you choose peace over comparison. The more you release, the lighter your spirit becomes until you realize that you are no longer jealous of what others have. You are simply grateful for who you are becoming. 3. Building confidence through competence. Jealousy often finds its deepest roots in insecurity. When you secretly doubt your worth or your ability to create a fulfilling life, it becomes easy to look outward and resent the progress of others. The cure, however, is not to wish others would shrink so that you can feel bigger. The cure is to expand yourself until the shadow of jealousy has no space to linger. This expansion comes through competence. Competence builds confidence, and confidence dissolves envy. When you dedicate yourself to learning, improving, and developing skills, you create a foundation that no one can take from you. Imagine someone who feels jealous of a colleague's success. Instead of feeding resentment, they pour their energy into mastering their craft, sharpening their discipline, and pursuing excellence. Slowly, jealousy turns into inspiration because the person begins to see their own progress as proof that growth is possible. Competence is like constructing an unshakable house within you. The storms of comparison may rage outside, but inside you feel secure. The stronger your abilities, the less room jealousy has to dominate your mind, because you carry the quiet power of someone who knows they are capable. The more you grow in your own abilities, the less you feel the need to measure yourself against others. Progress has a way of silencing envy because it gives you evidence that your life is moving forward. Every new skill learned, every challenge overcome, every disciplined step in your career, health, relationships, or mindset becomes a deposit in your bank of confidence. And the richer you become in confidence, the poorer jealousy becomes in your life. This shift is profound. Instead of envying others, you will be too busy investing in your own greatness. Competence makes you realize that life is not a zero-sum game. Another person's success does not reduce your potential. In fact, their success can become a mirror showing you what is possible for yourself. When you stop looking sideways and start looking forward, jealousy transforms into motivation. You stop asking, "Why them?" and start asking, "What can I build with the strengths I have?" Over time, this mindset creates a powerful cycle. Competence builds confidence, confidence fuels courage, and courage leads to growth. In this cycle, jealousy simply has no home. What remains is the joy of personal mastery and the peace of knowing you are enough because you are becoming more every day.
4. Avoiding the scarcity trap. Jealousy thrives in scarcity thinking. It convinces you that if someone else wins, you lose, that love, success, or opportunities are limited. But the truth? Life is abundant. There's enough room for all of us to rise. The only real limitation is the mindset that sees everything as a competition. This illusion of scarcity comes from fear. Fear that we won't get our share. fear that we'll be left behind, fear that we aren't enough. When we operate from this fear, we look at the world as a pie with only so many slices, and every slice taken by another feels like one stolen from us. Yet life is not a single pie. It is a field that grows new harvests, a spring that keeps replenishing, an ocean that never dries up. To realize this is to free yourself from the chains of jealousy, because it shows you that another's light does not diminish your own flame. It simply illuminates the vastness of what is possible. When you live in abundance, you celebrate others instead of resenting them. Their success becomes proof of possibility, not a threat. The rise of another person becomes an invitation for you to rise as well, a reminder that greatness is not reserved for the chosen few, but available to all who commit themselves with courage and consistency. Shifting away from scarcity is how you free yourself from jealousy's grip. You stop counting what you don't have and start creating what you do. Instead of obsessing over someone else's recognition, you focus on your own growth. Instead of envying another's relationship, you nurture the love already present in your life, whether it comes from family, friends, or self-respect. Scarcity says there's not enough. Abundance says there's more than I can see right now, and I can create even more with what I've been given. This shift transforms comparison into inspiration and turns envy into empowerment. To practice abundance, you must retrain your attention. The human mind has a bias for lack. It scans for what is missing, what is wrong, what is absent. Jealousy feeds on this bias, but gratitude interrupts it. When you focus daily on what you already have, the opportunities, the relationships, the skills, the moments of beauty, you strengthen the muscle of abundance. You begin to see the world as a place of overflow, not deprivation. And when you operate from overflow, you no longer feel threatened by what others have. Their success becomes fuel, their joy becomes contagious, and their breakthroughs expand your imagination of what is possible. Jealousy dissolves because it cannot survive in an environment where you are already full. Abundance is not about ignoring reality. It is not about pretending resources are infinite or denying that effort and time are required. It is about remembering that life's possibilities are not zero-sum. The world may put people in competition, but nature itself never does. The tree does not resent another tree's growth. The ocean does not envy another wave's crash upon the shore. All grow together, all exist in harmony, and all thrive by being themselves. If you want to escape the scarcity trap, stop counting someone else's blessings as a threat to your own. Trust that life has more than enough space for you, and that your role is not to fight over scraps, but to step fully into your own creative power. When you do, jealousy fades away, replaced by the joy of knowing there is room for everyone to shine.
5. Living fully in your own story. The ultimate freedom from jealousy comes when you commit to living your story, not someone else's. No two journeys are the same, and comparison only blinds you to your own unique path. Every time you measure your life against another's, you steal energy that could be used to write your own chapter. Jealousy thrives on distraction. It pulls your gaze toward the pages of another's book while leaving your own unwritten. But your story is irreplaceable. No one else can live it. No one else can embody it. No one else can bring into existence what only you can. To trade your story for comparison is to abandon the very gift of individuality. Freedom lies in reclaiming your narrative, in realizing that the meaning of your life is not determined by how it stacks up against others, but by how fully you embrace the path that belongs only to you. When you're grounded in your values, your goals, and your personal mission, jealousy becomes irrelevant. You realize the real victory is becoming the best version of you. Success is not about being ahead of anyone else. It is about alignment, about living in integrity with who you are and what you believe. When your decisions are rooted in your own compass, you stop being tossed around by the winds of comparison. The achievements of others may inspire you, but they no longer define you. Instead of being distracted by their pace, you focus on your stride. Instead of measuring your worth by their outcomes, you measure it by your growth. In this way, jealousy dissolves into clarity, because your gaze is no longer outward, but inward, toward the story you were writing with each choice, each day, each moment. Living fully in your own story requires courage. It means letting go of borrowed definitions of success. It means resisting the urge to conform to the expectations of society, family, or peers, and instead asking the deeper question, what is my life for? What matters to me? Jealousy cannot survive when you are authentically engaged in building a life true to yourself. When you are absorbed in your craft, your relationships, your growth, there is no room left to envy others. Their triumphs no longer trigger insecurity, but rather curiosity. What can I learn from them? How can their example expand the horizons of my own path? By staying rooted in your own mission, you transform jealousy into motivation, and motivation into action. The more fully you live in your own story, the richer your emotional wealth becomes. This richness cannot be measured in external trophies, but in the depth of meaning, purpose, and fulfillment. Someone else may have what looks like success from the outside, but only you can experience the inner victory of living in alignment with your truth. When you wake each day knowing that you are walking the path meant for you, there is no need to envy another's. Their journey is theirs, yours is yours. And in honoring your own, you step into the profound freedom of authenticity. This is where jealousy ends, not by suppressing it, but by outgrowing it. For the soul that is fully alive in its own story has no reason to covet the pages of another's book. It is too busy writing something beautiful, something unrepeatable, something deeply its own.
At the end of the day, emotional wealth is the highest form of success. It's the calm heart, the strong mind, and the free spirit that jealousy can't touch. Remember, wealth isn't just about what's in your bank account. It's about what's in your heart and mind. If you found value in this, make sure you subscribe for more powerful lessons that help you live with clarity, purpose, and strength. Because the richest life is the one lived above jealousy.